Hello and welcome to the shed. Today is part 2 on the Traveller's Tool Chest build. If you didn't catch part 1, you can find that down below. But what I thought we'd do before we jump in and get started is have a quick overview of what we did in part 1, and then I will give you a quick look at what we're going to be doing in part 2. So in part 1, we made the main structure of this. We did our dovetail construction down here, we did our tongue and groove backboards, and we added the front fascia board here. And what we'll be doing in today's video is creating this locking bar, this lower housing part of the fascia with holding pieces, and then the 2 sliding trays that you see here. Initially we were going to do the shelf up here, but due to time constraints we've no longer done that, and that'll be in part 3. The very first thing we're going to do is cut out that bottom fascia piece here. We'll cut a strip here later on, but we need to get the locking bar done because we need to make a little recess in here for that locking bar, so we need to do that first. Let's jump in. So now we're going to look at the locking bar. Now this was a piece of jar I was going to use, and it looks like it's a little more split than I originally thought. So instead of the jar I have this piece of 7mm red veneered Tasmanian oak, which is what I used on the cabinet over here. So we're going to go ahead and just prep a strip of this. Always a cross-cut saw with plywood. We'll grab the center of this, we'll find the center so we know where it's going to come through on the bottom of our chest, just here. So we bring this in here now. I don't have to measure where it is at the top, because as long as it's flat, because it's square down here, we can line it up. So I've just got some other smash pieces. Now we need to line this all up. Now before we work out exactly how wide we're going to go and what thickness we're going to use, let's just slide this on here. We'll grab our locking bar, and I just want to see if this is going to slide through, so that'll be the way it goes. It looks like there's enough discrepancy in the plywood and this piece that we can actually just slide that straight on in, and it shouldn't be an issue. Let's just push. So I think what I'm going to do is we'll do 2 sections of about 90. That means we're going to overhang each edge of that slot, or where it's going to lock, by 25mm, so an extra 50mm. So we're going to use a little trick that's common with power tools. You don't see it often in hand tools. In actual fact, I can't ever remember seeing it happen. So I know that the side of this is square because my fence is square to it. It's how I set it up. So I've set my square here to 90mm. I'm going to put a block here, and so we're going to be using a stop block. We'll lock that down, and it does allow you to get repeatable results. So those of you paying attention to what I said will have noticed that I actually cut these to the wrong length. Luckily for me, they're actually still wide enough, so I think I'm just going to persevere with what I've got here. So I just want to do a quick test to ensure before we put this together. So just quickly grab that with the hold fast. Just over the outside edge. Make sure the correct way, so there's that little slot. So it's facing that way, that's the way I designed it. We need to notch out this area that we had here. So what I'm going to do is reinsert this locking thing that we've done on our actual door piece, and I'm going to line it up and I'm going to remark it off this. We've already got how far in it needs to come, but I'm going to remark the alignment by making sure we're aligned here. That means that this is going to line up dead center where we want it. With that, we have our two sides and we already have our width to go in. Now we need to come down our depth. So this is 18mm stock, so we're going to go half of 18mm. So this is where we're going to troubleshoot to see how it comes in. So I have it lined up on the side edges here. Now I'm going to try and push that through, and it feels like it's ever so slightly out of square, but not enough that I'd worry about it. And now we can go ahead and remove this. We're going to curve the top of this, because the idea is the hand can come in, finger into a hole. It's not going to be a very big one, and so you can just reach in there. We're going to curve this so you don't jam your fingers. Come in and just start. And we're literally just going to reach in. That's clever. It's gone straight in. Going to come in about and pre-drill it in. There's a very good reason you're up there now. Now that we have a functioning door, we can now take our measurements for how deep the drawer is. Now, you could do that off plans, but there's only so much you can do off a plan. You need a real world measurement from, if there's a slight bow in the back here to here. So what I'm going to do is strike a line along the back of this bottom packer, because we need to measure from technically both, but this one is going to be fine because we're going to leave a little leeway. So I'm going to strike the line on the bottom here. So now we've got that line, we can bring our ruler in and decide how long we want them to be. Now, this is showing 315 millimeters here, roughly. It's just under, probably 313 from this angle. So it depends how much you want the drawers to slide about or the trays to move back and forwards. A little bit is fine. Obviously you want them fairly firm so they don't move too much. So what I'm probably going to do here is go to 310 millimeters. I've already got the stock prepped, so let's jump in and get some dovetails done. See just here, I did a major stuff up here. We'll have to glue just a piece in there to cover that up. I'm not quite sure how I got that wrong, but it seems like I also got it wrong here. Not quite sure how. Sometimes these things happen. Now we'll have to sort out that tipping, and we'll do that when we do the top shelf, but for now this is operating exactly as it should. And the real telling piece is, does our locking panel work? Locked up nice and tight. That's part 2 concluded. I know I said we were going to include the shelf up here. I haven't quite got round to that. The rest of this has taken longer with these trays and drawers, plus this front panel and locking bar. That took way longer than I envisaged actually it taking, so we will just throw that one into the next one. That'll be quick and easy to do first thing in the next video, and then we'll jump in and actually get the lid done with its dust seals. So if you like this video, please do like and subscribe down below. While you're down there, do sound off in the comments. And if you didn't catch the first build video for this tool chest, you can find that video here. Bye for now.